that there's been a lot going on in our world, and I've been kind of sick lately to really do much of anything. Forgive the hat, my hair's a little crazy. Uh, Kind of getting thin because of all the problems we're having keeping me healthy. Um, Never thought I'd be losing hair again after I'd recovered from the anorexia, but it can happen. Uh, But basically, I wrote a blog the other day, and I was kind of thinking about doing this post on it because I found it pretty relevant in a lot of ways to me, and I think to a lot of people that might understand. It's about fear, and everybody knows fear. Everybody has felt fear. Everybody has felt that moment where their heartbeat just quickens. Their sweat beads develop on your face, your breathing is labored, you have that instinct to either fight or flight, man. You gotta fight it or get out. And there's nothing wrong with that. In some instances, that's necessary. There are instances where, your fears are, as little as a spider spell on your arm and you run around and do a little dance like a crazy person until the spider goes, or you're facing losing a loved one, or you've lost a loved one, or whatever. All of it, it's fear. It's fine. It's normal. The difference is between having fear and being defined by fear, I think, are two very, very different things. Because for most of my life, fear is what defined me. I lived in a constant fear of what others thought about me, of making my mother angry, of my family not thinking right about me, not fitting in with my friends, not doing this, not doing that, fear of my mother's drinking and the things that happened when she drank and all that kind of stuff. And that fear just instilled in me like this, or I had to do something to stop myself from having this fear and feeling pain. That's where the anorexia came in. Because if I starved, I could look the way I'm supposed to look. I could smile the way I was supposed to smile. I could wear what I'm supposed to wear. I thought that maybe then it would be enough. I would be enough. I wouldn't have to be afraid anymore. The fear would go away. There would be no more pain. There would be no more hurt. It was a protection mechanism for myself. And unfortunately, it worked. My son's running back and forth. Unfortunately, it worked for me. And before long, my whole universe became that. And then the cutting happened. I developed this whole persona that wasn't even real. There was the person that everybody saw, and there was the person that came home at night and fell apart in her room on the floor and bled, because the only tears that I would allow myself to cry were from my flesh, not from my eyes. And it went on for so long, and that even when people realized what was going on, and when people started confronting me, it's like it hooked in stronger. My fear got even stronger, and the more these people tried to help, the more I pushed back, and the more I introverted to try to protect myself, and the more I rejected the hands that were reaching out to help me. And the thing about it is there was that part of me that wanted to reach out, that wanted to, lift my arm up and say, please just help me, I can't help myself, I'm gonna die if we keep going like this. I couldn't stop. Did it for so many years. So many years. I thought that starving and cutting swallowing pills, all that stuff was protecting me and was allowing me to function, causing me not to live in fear. I was not like everybody else or whatever, but in reality I think I was probably more afraid of anything. But the idea that I had this control, this illusion that I had this control over my own feelings, my own pain, my own everything. I controlled my physical pain. I controlled who I let hurt me, how I let myself get hurt. I controlled how I felt, everything. Which is crap. I mean, it's crap. It's a lie in your head that tells you this. But either way, that's what it did at the time. And then it got to the point where the fear started having me believe that nothing would be better, nothing would be fixed if I were still alive, that I could fix everything. It wouldn't be my fault anymore, and it wouldn't hurt anymore. I didn't need to live. If I died, it wouldn't be my fault that my mom was drunk. It wouldn't be my fault that she was abusive. It wouldn't be my fault that my dad was absent. It wouldn't be my fault that I never fit in with my family. It wouldn't be my fault that I was raped. It wouldn't be anything. It wouldn't be my fault that, you know, my mom was dead. You know, nothing would be my fault, you know. The solution to me helping this world, in my head, literally, in my head, I thought that all the problems for everybody in my life and everybody I loved would go away if I went away. What do you do then, right? I wasn't afraid of dying, I was afraid of living. So I, you know, filled myself full of pills and bled myself out all over the place and got rushed to the hospital. All I really remember is being drugged by some EMTs and then an alarm going off, getting yelled at to wake up and breathe, and then nothing. Thought I was gone. And then I woke up the next morning to a whole new fear. And it was a totally different fear. Opened my eyes, massive headache, couldn't move, laying in an ICU bed, feeling like I've been hit by a train, bandages everywhere, tied down initially until they realized I wasn't going to fight them. And there was the light coming in my room, and it kind of hit me. I had that oh shit moment. And it wasn't a bad moment, it was a good moment. It was that moment that I realized I don't want to die. That I'm here for something, I have a purpose, and it's time to stop this, you know. And I'm a believer in Christ, which is, it plays a big part in my everyday thoughts and recovery and all that. And I understand that not everybody feels the same way, and I'm not gonna preach at you. But I should not have seen the light of that day, and God kept me alive. And that's when the work started. That's when the fear of feeling and the fear of pain and the fear, all that fear I had inside, suddenly became less of a fear than the fear I had of leaving this world behind without making some kind of difference. I I have a lot of faith. I hold faith. I hold on to my faith a lot, and I believe, in a sense, that life, you know, kind of there's this. I say God. You can say whatever you want. Paints a picture. Everything in life is painting this picture, and there's dark colors, there's shadows, and everything else. Horrible things that happen, that the Lord allows to happen, because you can't have a pretty picture if you only use pastels. You need the dark a little bit, the shadows a little bit. But I do believe as human beings, we have the power, our individual power, to decide what we want left when we go. And I'm not saying I want to leave a huge, ginormous, like, burst of sunshine on this painting, but I want to leave a spark. I don't want to be a shadow. And that's kind of what get me going, you know, moving towards recovery, moving towards getting better. I fell a lot of times, fell back a lot of times, picked up razors more times than that. Than the day that I woke up in the ICU. Took a very long time to recover. But I did. I've been in a pretty stable recovery for 6 years. Almost 6 years. And I have a husband and a little boy. And I have a whole new set of fears. I have a disease that's trying to kill me every day. That's eating away at my organs, and I'm scared. But I'm not hiding from it. I'm facing it. I'm scared of leaving behind my family. I'm scared of not living up to the wife I should be, or the mother I should be, or whatever I should be. I'm scared that I won't do enough. That I won't help anybody. That I won't make this tiny difference that I hope that maybe one of these videos or blogs makes at some point. But come back here. Sorry, my son's testing his boundaries. But I basically, you know, I've had to make the decision to fight or be defined by the fear that I have. And I have to have faith. I have faith even in the darkest times of the illness that I have now, that it won't be for nothing. And that somehow I will make a difference to somebody. Thank you. Can you find your other cup for mommy? Get your other cup for mommy. Get your other cup for mommy. This is not the right cup. But I basically agree that, you know, I'm terrified. I'm terrified, beyond terrified. I just got out of the hospital the week of sepsis. Come here. Come here. Come here. He's angry. But I just got out of the hospital after a week of sepsis, and I'm sitting here running medicine that makes me feel awful. And through all of that, I refuse to let fear define me anymore. I'm not defined by a number on a scale, or a calorie, or a razor blade, or a pill bottle, or a diagnosis from a doctor. I'm not defined by having to sit in a wheelchair or being weak or whatever like that. I'm not defined by any of that. I'm still trying to make a difference, and at the end of the day, you have the choice to face your fear or let it destroy you, because if you don't face fear, it will destroy you. I was destroyed by my fear. I am blessed beyond I can even use in words that I am alive, because I tried to end it all because I had that voice in my head screaming that absurd lie to me. And it almost took me. 28 years old now. We don't know if I'll see 30. I spend a lot of time making amends for the things that I've done. I have a lot of times that I feel very unworthy because I, will need an organ transplant eventually, and squaring with the fact that somebody's willing to give me that kind of gift is hard for me because I don't feel it's a deserving thing for me. But what I'm saying is that it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to have fear. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be down. It's okay to be in the dark. It's okay to be any of that. It's okay to be in a horrible situation where you are not okay at all. It is just fine. You don't have to be fine. You don't have to be okay when you're not. You can tell people you're afraid. You can reach out for help because you deserve it. Nobody deserves the life that I lived before I made the choice to get better. Please do not let fear define you. Because it's one of those things that, the more power you give it, the more it takes. You're in control, and the more power you have, the more you refuse to give that lie power, the more fight you'll have. Just fight back. Don't lay down and take it. Don't listen to the lies. Fight back. Even when they're screaming in your head, fight back. Pretend it's a friggin' spider that's on your arm and it won't get off. No matter how much you do, you keep fighting though, because you don't want that damn spider on you, do you? No, you don't. At least most people don't. I don't know. I don't mind spiders. But either way, you have a choice. You're not going to be able to never be afraid, because horrible things happen all the time, and it's never going to stop. But you have a choice to let that fear cripple you, or to keep going despite what you are faced. And I hope that you have faith in yourself and hope to leave a good mark on that painting a life that I spoke of earlier, whether you believe it's a religious thing or a ideal thing, whatever. Just, it's how you're remembered. Do you want to be remembered as a shadow of a person, or do you want to be remembered as that spark that fought? That's all I'm saying. We decide who has the power. We decide. We control our thoughts. We control ourselves. Can't control the world, but you can control you, and you can control how you let it affect you. And if you need help with that, it's available, and I urge you to get it, because we all need it sometimes. Just remember, you're not defined by your fear, and you're not defined by your illnesses, you're not defined by your mistakes or anything like that. You can always, always turn things around. Like the little thing that my mom gave me when I was a kid on my nightstand. It was a picture, and it had a picture of a little girl on it, and every day, when I opened my eyes, the first thing I saw was the quote, "Each day is a new beginning." Make tomorrow your new beginning.